This is Joshua Block. If you don't already know him, you'd be forgiven for thinking he just escaped from a mental asylum. However, he's actually a very popular content creator, with his World of T-Shirts TikTok account boasting 2.6 million followers. A man of many talents, he solidified his standing in the public consciousness through hard work and shrewd hustling. At least that's probably what he believes. The truth is that Joshua may be the only person who takes himself even slightly seriously. Ever since his unorthodox jump to stardom, he's worked overtime to erode every bit of goodwill his initial fans may have had for him, be it due to his violent outburst against a fish, the fact that many people take issue with him charging fans for photos, or having a smidge too much love for the bottle. This has resulted in him securing an audience hell-bent on seeing him completely self-destruct.
Yeah, this guy makes me look like a lightweight. Like, I only drink 6 beers. This guy is getting plastered every stream.
How did it come to this? What's the story behind the downfall of TikTok's newest lolcow? If you're one to believe websites like Wikitubia and Know Your Meme, you'll find that Joshua had uploaded his first ever video on September 22nd, 2020. And in fact, you'll see this repeated in multiple other places. But the story of Joshua and his channel go back further than that, all the way back to June of 2019, when the then 17-year-old first started uploading videos. For a while, he would continue uploading them to minimal views, doing so simply for fun, until he finally got his big break in October of that year, which was a video of him eating crickets.
Yo, exotic food check.
It was with this initial success that the starstruck Joshua began to take TikTok much more seriously. You see, ever since he was rather young, Josh had always dreamed of being self-employed, and he realized that TikTok was his golden ticket to boss mode. He would go on to do everything in his power to capitalize on this in the short term, to very mixed success, with a lot of his videos from then to September 2020 getting 4-digit views. But despite the low amount of attention, the few popular uploads he did have would be enough for him to slowly build a niche community, drawn to the channel by his bizarre behavior. The best example of this is definitely his lip sync videos, which were some of his most popular content at the time. Take this one, in which he mouths the lyrics of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Except, mouthing may not be the right term here, as a more apt description might be that he's flapping his jaw like an upside-down trash can in rhythm to the song's lyrics. Or take this example, where he laments the terribleness of the year 2020 by lip-syncing Happy New Year by Studio 99. Both of these demonstrate a rather peculiar quality of Josh, one that could be argued to have been the initial thing that drew people in: his distinct lack of facial expression. In the second video, despite talking about the death of someone important enough to him to make a whole TikTok out of it, he remains completely deadpan, with his eyes barely even moving throughout. It didn't take a genius to understand that there was something special about Josh, from his odd mannerisms to his very stilted delivery. This resulted in most of the growing fan base being composed of people who just made fun of him, seeing him in the same light as any other TikTok lolcow. But that was all Josh needed, and as his notoriety slowly increased, his videos would start getting a fair bit more views, with numerous uploads getting in excess of 100k hits, and some of them even got 200k. Staying true to his form, these were extremely varied, everything from videos about the pandemic to random goofs to even more lip syncs. Of course, while it's easy for us to see that his main draw was the fact he was basically a laughingstock, it doesn't really seem Josh had caught on to that fact, because as he became more and more popular, he began looking for other avenues of potential growth. This would lead to him creating a YouTube channel by the name of World of Interviews on April 8th, 2020. Nothing's really known about this channel, as the only things you'll find on it are 2 videos with our titular hero. One of them is a short where he introduces us to what the channel is all about.
Welcome to World of Interviews, a YouTube channel where we do podcast interviews with famous TikTokers. Discover your favorite celebrities today.
The second video is a 5-minute interview with the man himself, conducted by some random person who I haven't actually found anything about at all. The video reveals some interesting facts. For one, Josh shares with us that he had first downloaded the TikTok app in 2019 and that he had started uploading on it around August. He mentions how by September he fell in love with TikTok, and by October he became TikTok famous in his own words. He also went on to share with us that he had 240,000 followers at this point in time. He then says he's in the top 10,000 on famous birthdays, which as far as I can tell is correct. When asked what exactly he owes this success to, he credits the fact that his uploads tend to be varied, as opposed to, you know, the actual reason people were watching him, which seems to be completely over his head.
I do variety videos. Most people on the app only post stick to one thing?
Throughout the interview, he presents this YouTube channel as a guaranteed cash cow, planning to use his TikTok success and the success of other large TikTok creators he would interview to launch his YouTube channel into orbit. There wasn't much more to the interview besides the fact he once again mentions how he's still in high school at this point. For context, he was born August 7th, 2001, which would have made him 18 years old. We'll get deeper into the implications of this a bit later, but keep that tucked in your noggin. This concludes with a few more TikToks made by Joshua, which are about the same quality as you would expect, with his signature still to delivery. Overall, the whole video was pretty boring, which is enough of an explanation for why it never really took off. Besides being confused on whether the interview was shot by Joshua or the interviewer, most people were far more interested in the mysterious figure standing in Joshua's doorway in the first half of the video. Questions about it were completely unanswered for the time being. Regardless, the channel was very quickly abandoned for reasons that should be obvious enough to anyone. But that didn't mean he was done experimenting with content. In September of 2020, he would once again attempt to diversify his audience by creating a secondary TikTok account called the Starbucks Club, which in his own words was a channel meant purely for people who drank Starbucks, as explained thoroughly across the first 3 videos on his channel. While the channel definitely had more of that unique Joshua flair than the YouTube, it seems he would abandon it pretty quickly after not finding success. Joshua is extremely familiar with the sunk cost fallacy, but there was some good news. While the side projects were a miserable failure, the World of T-Shirts channel was doing pretty well, so Josh continued to upload on it consistently. But at this point, he was still quite unknown, with his fan base being very insulated. All of this would change on the hallowed day of September 22nd, with the upload of a quaint little video in which he mouths the lyrics to some parody song, staying true to form by looking like the main character of Ride to Hell Retribution. Now, this video is actually not that remarkable in terms of views, as at this point, he would be getting 200,000 views pretty regularly, but it does serve as a split-off point between obscurity and his sudden rise to fame. Because you see, at this point, the sky was the limit for our friend with the steely gaze, and he started uploading hundreds upon hundreds of videos to his TikTok channel every single month, with a number of them scoring very solid views, including this oddball duet where he humorously judges an obvious joke TikTok. But the real difference came as September ended, when he finally broke the 200,000 view roof he had been confined to for so long, with an upload on the 2nd of October. This video was dedicated to enlightening his viewers about the facts that pandemics happen roughly every 100 years, listing a couple of plagues going about 300 years back, and managing to actually get 2 million views for this informative piece. Just a few days later, however, he would go on to beat this record with a video where he painted his tongue 2 different colors with the use of some gummies, helpfully explaining to us the entire process.
So these will change the color of your tongue permanently for weeks. We're gonna put these in my mouth and wait 10 minutes. It's not coming off. Shit.
This video shattered his previous record from just a few days prior with 10 million views. His before insulated audience had now expanded, as millions of unaware and very confused normies were exposed to the world of t-shirts, expressing a mix of sheer befuddlement and amusement in the comments. With videos like these and many, many more, his whole channel exploded, getting 4 times the followers in October compared to what he got in September. He had become a veritable normie magnet, as his content became ever present on TikTok front pages. However, while all this success was certainly nothing to scoff at, this was merely a precursor for what was to come, as our eternally ambitious main hero would not be satisfied with just filming himself at home being utterly asinine. So at the tail end of 2020, he would dedicate his time into a slightly different kind of content, music. Josh announced his first song in November of 2020, set to be released on the 1st of December. He announced it in much the same way you would probably expect from him at this point, sounding perhaps even more deadpan than he usually does, which is pretty impressive.
I'm releasing a song on December 1st. It's very short, it's only about a minute long, but it's all about COVID. Since I have Select, it'll go to TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and a whole lot of other platforms. Be ready. It'll be coming.
Indeed, Josh would grace us with the release of his song on Spotify, and frankly, it's a beauty. During the 47-second runtime, he reminds us of just how good he had it in 2019, and how as soon as we entered 2020, our whole world came crashing down.
I remember 2019, living our best lives. New Year's Eve came along, looking forward to 2020. It marked the new decade. Everything was fine till March. Toilet paper shortage, quarantine, masks, social distancing. No job, no school, no nothing. Lockdown, everything canceled. Oh no,
This artful piece would end up netting him around 65,000 listeners on Spotify. With that initial success, Josh saw there was a potential for his music. So only a month later, he announced a new song on the 31st of December while he danced joyfully to a small excerpt. As for the song itself, it would also be released on Spotify, and if you thought the last one was life-changing, then you're not prepared for what I'm about to show you. It was a love ballad dedicated to, as the name suggests, coffee and boba tea.
Wake up in the morning, throw some clothes on, check my phone, run out the door. Where do I go? Of course, to get some coffee and some boba tea.
The song would end up doing better numbers on Spotify, getting around 130,000 hits. Seeing the monumental success, Josh felt inclined to truly capitalize. He created his own website, registering it under the domain worldoftshirts.com on the 1st of February, later being changed to worldoftshirts.ai. The website serves a few purposes, advertising his music and selling his merch, which contains various memes and in-jokes from his community. But it's at this point that Joshua shifts his TikTok content pretty much entirely, and on the 14th of March 2021, already a few months after his initial blow-up, he uploaded a video of himself standing in Times Square, loudly singing Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z, specifically the part sung by Alicia Keys, all while surrounded by a crowd of bemused onlookers.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, there's nothing you can't do, now you're in New York.
This got him over 30 million views, setting the stage for exactly the kind of content we would expect. He was no longer creating content from the confines of his home. Instead, he was making the exact same thing but out on the streets of New York, which made it even funnier because you got to see bystanders in the background look at him like, what the f are you doing? It's with this shift in location that our protagonist would reach the peak of popularity, gaining 640,000 followers in March alone. His videos were getting millions of views, and his streams were attended by tens of thousands of people. While it's hard to say if he made any money, it probably wasn't nothing. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that this new style of content wouldn't just attract a lot of attention from online fans, but also people in real life who would regularly.
I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing pulling the boss.
With
like,
such a
bruh.
recognizable appearance and cadence, he's
But
pretty
also,
hard to miss.
like, I didn't
now,
fucking
to most
see it.
regular people, I'm sure the idea of constantly being harassed by fans
Or
doesn't
just
sound
clearing
that
out.
appealing, but for Josh, this was a catastrophe, one he wouldn't respond to in the healthiest manner. He would begin charging his fans $50 for the privilege of taking a photo with him, with multiple videos being released of him basically demanding money from fans. Of these, perhaps the most popular is a video of him in Central Park, where a fan pays him to sing a song, with Josh looking even more dead-eyed than usual.
Yeah, yeah, New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, there's nothing you can't do, now you're in New York.
The response to this was very mixed. While the YouTube video that first shared this moment largely sided with Josh, there were other people in his own community who were baffled. This would culminate in his fans asking him why he charges people on a TikTok livestream. There, he would give a rather interesting response.
I charge my fans for photos because if I just take their picture, they're gonna get famous quickly for nothing.
Of course, it's his prerogative to charge or not charge people for photos. I mean, if he tells them ahead of time, hey, you gotta pay me to take a picture, they don't want to do it, it's whatever. I'm just curious what this response even means. Like, if you want money, say because I want money. Instead, it's they'll get famous quickly for nothing? What does that mean? Despite this, he would actually catch some flack from his fans, as many of them viewed this habit of his as proof that he only sees his fans as a source of income. People especially took issue with his comment about how he doesn't just want people blowing up in popularity for free, which they saw as him pulling up the ladder. That said, plenty of people still defend this practice, saying that part of why he likely does that is to dissuade random people from constantly approaching him. And the charging simply means that the only people he may get approached by are actual fans, at least in theory. It is worth noting he would later drop these prices, only charging $10 for pictures and $20 for videos. Of course, this didn't actually stop people from taking pictures and videos of him in creepshot fashion. If anything, this only further emboldened them to sneakily try to video him and then upload those videos to their own TikToks, with some of these going downright viral. A TikTok user by the name of Fern would upload a video of Joshua walking down the street, making fun of his amusing stride. But none of this ever got in the way of his monumental rise in popularity. In fact, as time went on, it seems a lot of people did genuinely start to root for him beyond just treating him as a lolcow. Even if many of the fans were intent on making fun of him, no one really thought of him as like a negative guy or an evil person. He was just someone who was kind of silly and funny to watch. But his grandest moment was yet to come. It was a short while after the charging fans incident that he would orchestrate what many view as the high point of his entire career. On the 25th of May 2021, just a few months after he had begun live streaming, he gathered his fans in Times Square for a unique event when one of the billboards began to show an advertisement for his channel while he called himself the King of the Concrete Jungle. For anybody who's curious, a spot in Times Square could run you as little as $5,000 per day to as much as $50,000 per day depending on the ad and the length. Around this time, he would also do a small collaboration with a sizable YouTube channel called Side Talk, which focuses on interviewing people they meet while walking the streets. During this video, Josh does another rendition of the song that propelled him to stardom, gives a spicy hot take about school lunches, and charges one of the people present $25 for a photo. Notably, the video also includes one of the first, if not the first, use of a meme that will become rather popular on his channel, wherein he tells viewers that he's wearing Louis Vuitton because he was banned from Gucci. Overall, this first interview ended up being pretty successful, netting them 600,000 views and a pretty positive reception from commenters, who took the time to poke a little fun and also said that him only charging $25 was a blessing. The interview was so successful that Side Talk made another one just a few weeks later, where Josh once again wowed the crowd with his on-screen presence, and when told that 6ix9ine claimed the title of King of New York, Josh bluntly asserts that he is in fact the true king.
What do you want to say to 6ix9ine right now? He claims to be the king of New York.
I'm the king of New York. 6ix9ine is not the king. I am. I'm out here with no security because security's for quitters. I'm Moneybag Josh.
Just like last time, this one blew up, albeit not as much. Following the success of these interviews, an unaffiliated song artist by the name of Felix Cartal would make the banned from the Gucci store meme into a song, which, in fairness to the artist, is miles better than anything Josh has ever produced. Overall, despite this early hiccup with charging fans money, he used his time in the spotlight pretty well. And while many people did view him as more of a laughingstock than a genuine content creator, he had enough genuine viewers watching to get by. Around this time, he also began getting the attention of mainstream media, with online publications beginning to take notice. One of these would be posted on an internet news outlet called The Tab, in which the author would do a little deep dive on some of his history, including the controversy of demanding payments. They also brought up a very interesting claim, showing what the author believes to be an older TikTok account of Joshua's, and how around that time it had been reactivated, posting a very questionable meme. Hello, base department, gonna need you guys to come down here. Now I should note that while it's interesting to ponder, it's very unlikely Josh would ever post something like this. For one, whenever he attempts to do humor, it's extremely different in comparison, and for two, there's a high likelihood he might not even be interested in that sort of stuff, at least if Reddit detectives are to be believed, referring to a screenshot of a dating app called Grindr on his home screen, as well as an interesting little clip where he suggests that he had been banned from the app. Regardless, while this article made some leaps of logic, it was arguably just one more notch in Joshua's belt, proving just how solidly he had made himself part of mainstream culture by then. Unfortunately, things went sour pretty quickly after. Around early June, sometime prior to the second Side Talk video, Josh got together with a random fan, and the two decided to do some fishing in the Hudson River. While things started off innocent enough, they quickly turned into something far more sinister, when upon successfully catching a bluegill and pulling it out of the water, Josh proceeded to throw it on the ground forcefully and stomp on it like the lead singer of Sabaton, all while bearing the happiest smile I think I've ever seen. The reason he gives in the video for being this brutal is he justifies it by saying a fish shouldn't spend time in such dirty water, ostensibly making this stomping action an act of mercy. After that, he continues to throw the fish on the ground repeatedly without saying a word, letting out a demented giggle. This, understandably, wouldn't go unnoticed, as the video quickly made waves around TikTok, with re-uploads of it getting upwards of 1 million views. It would also be uploaded to r/publicfreakout, where it got quite a bit more attention, with hundreds of comments asking how a person could do such a cruel thing. Largely, they pondered what kind of mental disorder he was suffering from that would convince him this was a good idea, or, you know, make him enjoy this. Well, it's hard to track just how large the backlash against him was at the time. It was clearly bad enough to where Josh felt the need to respond to it, which he would do in a now deleted TikTok. He defended himself by saying that the fish was already dead, which in his mind made it far less serious than it previously appeared. He also complained about how it had been filmed without his permission, as the fan had not actually paid him to record.
Okay, so a lot of people are upset about a leaked video of me stomping on a fish. First of all, the fish was already dead. The person who recorded me without my permission. They didn't pay the cameo, so they weren't even supposed to record me, but they posted it to set me up so that they would have an excuse to try and cancel me. I did not kill anything. The fish was already dead.
Given the original had been deleted, we can probably assume it was not well received by the public. The re-upload I showed was released around the same time as this whole drama was occurring, and the comment section is pretty much all disapproval, going as far as to suggest his behavior was a clear example of animal abuse, which can be a telling sign of a potential serial killer. The other, more rational commenters focus on the fact that he doesn't seem to even understand why what he'd done was wrong in the first place. The whole drama would actually make its way onto YouTube, where the clip of him stomping out a fish made some waves. While not as big as it was in other places, you had some relatively large YouTubers like Mitchell Reacts covering it. Right around the time this fish video was released, the explosive growth of Joshua's TikTok stopped altogether. Although whether this is because of the drama he was finding himself in, or simply because people had lost interest, can't be said for certain. What can be said for certain is that same month, Josh went on to achieve something quite important in his personal life. He graduated from high school. Many viewers made note of the fact he was almost 20 at the time of graduation, which confirms he was held back at least a year. But despite the minor bit of good news, Josh wasn't quite
I think
done
I was like
with
19
While
by the
doing a
time I
TikTok live stream in
graduated
the hotel
high
room,
school.
He was doxxed live on air as he received a call on the room's landline saying exactly
But
where
I was
located
kicked
at the
out of high
time.
school because I missed too many
Understandably,
days.
this led to a bit of a
Because
freak
I
on
was
his end,
18,
as
so
he
they're
spun
like,
about the room
yeah, you're an
like a
adult
chicken
and you
with
can
his
only
head
miss
cut off.
like
This whole
10 days
situation
or some
escalated
shit like
even
that.
further
So
when
yeah.
at some point Josh
They're like,
was
you can
kicked
go
out
to
of the
adult
hotel
dead or
entirely
come
after
back
the
next year. I was
supposed
like, you know what, I'm
doxing
taking a
convinced the
year
hotel
break.
staff that he'd made a bomb
I'll finish
threat.
high
The
school the
interaction he
next
has with
year.
the fan who recorded the
Someone
video
just
ends up
tell
being pretty
me.
amusing, as even with the stressful situation, Josh is still committed to the hustle, accepting $50 for giving the fan a privilege to film. But that wasn't quite the end of it, as the whole fish stomping incident began to pop up again, but not in the way you might think. People began to mass flag the World of T-Shirts TikTok account, which led to a temp ban in late July. As a result, he brought the Starbucks Club channel back to life and uploaded a teary-eyed apology where he begged for his account to be unbanned, giving a more thorough explanation of the bluegill bonanza.
Okay, I'm sorry about the fish. It was a wrong thing for me to do, to stomp that fish. Please, just get me my account back. It was my livelihood and they just took it away.
This clip actually can't be found on TikTok anymore, although we can't exactly be sure why that is. If I were a betting man, then I'd bet my money on it being pretty poorly received, given he sounds less apologetic and more whiny than anything. Meanwhile, on YouTube, this situation wasn't exactly covered extensively, but I did find one pretty interesting development. The most popular video available about the subject was made by a fairly large TikToker by the name of Curly Daddy 101. He would release a video discussing the topic on a small YouTube channel, which includes the now deleted apology. In it, SoD claims to be a friend of Joshua's, although he doesn't go into any real specifics regarding this. He tells us that he'd been talking to Josh about his fears of getting banned because of getting repeated violations for supposedly unknown reasons. SoD even claims to have contacted TikTok regarding this to try and put Josh's mind at ease. Largely, the video's purpose is to publicly show support for Josh, as he argues the reason he was banned was entirely unjust, given the fish stomping incident was never uploaded on the World of T-Shirts account, meaning TikTok never should have taken any action against him. SoD also gives an emphatic defense of Joshua's character, arguing he was clearly not all there, while gleefully stomping on the bluegill. He concludes with a lengthy diatribe, lamenting how TikTok had become a completely anti-free speech platform, where people are not allowed to express themselves in any way that's deemed even slightly offensive to the blue-haired mob. He also gives a dire warning to TikTok that if they don't loosen up on their policies, people will eventually abandon the platform. As much as I wish that was true, nobody actually cares about censorship. Unfortunately, people are just going to keep using it. The video received a fairly warm reception, with most of the people in the comments coming out in support of it, as well as in support of Joshua himself. From this point on, the timeline gets a little bit confusing, not least of all because there doesn't seem to be much archived info on the subject. From what I could gather, Josh would get his account back sometime around August, at which point things went back to normal. The second channel would upload a random promo for his website, as well as a short update about how he would no longer accept any photo or video taking requests after 5 p.m. But as we get to the end of August, the fish drama flares up once again, as a TikTok of him walking gets a community guideline strike, which he attributes to a mass flagging attempt by his haters. The response was pretty mixed. While some people in the comments seemed to support him, a lot of others still held a big grudge against him for the bluegill thing, with some going as far as to encourage him being harassed as a way of justice. As he continued posting these pleas for help, it seems more and more people turned against him, as the comment section of the later videos are completely swamped with people who outright hate the guy. This video in particular has a few comments calling him out for only responding to some random dude who asked if he could still donate. After posting another TikTok where he advertised his merchandise, he would post a quasi-conclusion to the whole saga, albeit a very, very vague one. Displayed is a screenshot taken from some sort of legal chat room, where Josh is being advised on how he could potentially sue TikTok for discrimination on the basis of his condition. It's hard to say when exactly, but at some point after this video was released, the World of T-Shirts channel was actually reinstated. There's no way to tell if these two things are connected, but it's honestly more likely that after his appeal succeeded, there simply wasn't anyone else who cared enough to flag his content again, or the systems finally kicked in and realized that he wasn't really doing anything bad on TikTok. That, or maybe, if you want to be conspiratorial, his implied legal threat actually actually worked, but to be honest, I doubt that TikTok is afraid of Joshua Block. Either way, he went back to doing what he knew best, recording himself walking through New York while being obnoxious. Following his success in getting his main account back, Josh would partner up with a small YouTube channel called Apex Primary to create a documentary about him, in which we found out some very interesting information. This mini-doc covers quite a breadth of topics, most of which I don't really care about, from discussing how autism can affect children's development and their ability to socialize, to interviews with Josh's teachers in high school who sing praises of the young man. There are a few interesting tidbits here though. Firstly, we get a full confirmation that Josh himself is on the spectrum, and that he had gone through a restrictive curriculum throughout his early years. Not that we couldn't really tell he was on the spectrum, but now it's officially confirmed. We also learn the identity of the mysterious figure looming from the April interview. Apparently, it's actually Joshua's grandfather, who goes by the name of Vincent Lisa. Amid all of the bloviating comments about how successful Josh has been, we also find out that he's actually been an entrepreneur of sorts ever since the 10th grade, when he officially created 2 different online storefronts, including the World of T-Shirts and All Things Luxury. These were both created via a website called cafepress.com, which is basically like a super simple e-shop that allows you to create your own storefronts to sell your merch. To answer the question I'm sure you all have, yes, he named his TikTok account after a virtual storefront, which he actually confirms for us when he tells us he had reused the name for his TikTok account in order to further promote his t-shirt selling business. There aren't really any archives of these websites, so we can't be sure what these shops used to sell. What we can be sure of though is that nowadays they both seem like an extension of his own personalized merch store on the World of T-Shirts website, selling such worthwhile items as World of T-Shirts Portrait Design Baby Football Bodies and World of T-Shirts Portrait Design Women's Boy Briefs, as well as, and I kid you not, tens of thousands of other items. I don't even know where all these came from. When you actually scroll through these items, you'll realize most of them are pretty much the same, with the exact same designs being put on multiple different kinds of items, and the same kinds of items being sold with only mildly differing designs. It does make you wonder what the actual business model of these websites even is, given that 95% of these products probably haven't been sold even once. Interestingly, Joshua has deemed these 2 e-shops enough of a success that he lists them on his personal LinkedIn profile, where he names himself the CEO of the 2 respective stores since March 2017. Notably, he also mentions how he's been the CEO of something called Joshua's ATT Corp. This company is actually listed on the Real Yellow Pages website, where it's described as a tech support service. It also links to what seems to be the actual website of the company, which says pretty much the same thing. Now, Joshua has been listed as CEO of the company since early 2014, when he would have been only 12 years old. Given that you can't even get a work permit until you're 15, it should probably go without saying that the listing is not accurate, to put it mildly, and it's more likely the website was run by his family, possibly his grandfather. This also puts into question how much time he actually puts into managing these storefronts. Add that to the fact he spends most of his days wandering about New York, and it's more likely he only has his name attached to the shops for feel-good points, or perhaps advertising, but there's no way he's actually running them. As the documentary goes on, we also find out a little bit more about his personal life. Among other things, we find out his mother, who was a sole guardian growing up, passed away due to ovarian cancer in 2015, when Josh was either 13 or 14 years old. Josh's father had attempted to take care of him, but due to his inability to do so, his grandfather opted to get full legal custody. The video ends on a positive note, with a rather hopeful outlook on what the future has in store for Joshua. The documentarians seem to feel he was just a silly guy who wanted to enjoy life and have fun on TikTok. For the time being, Josh was doing very well. While he was nowhere near the peak he had once occupied, he was still doing fairly solid numbers, and while some people had been turned off by his fish stomping, the audience he had seemed to be unaware of this or just didn't care. As 2021 lingered on, Josh got more attention from the mainstream media, with various online publications releasing articles about him. The attention was all pretty positive, focusing on the fact that he's found so much success online despite the fact that he's autistic. After that, there wasn't really much to report on for a while, because Josh was pretty drama-free throughout 2022, doing pretty much the same exact kind of content you would expect him to make, walking around New York, recording song covers or parodies or lip syncs, and just having a fun time. Unfortunately, things began to change drastically when Josh turned 21. While prior to this, he had never been known to abuse substances in any way, it's at this point that a new side of him began to emerge. Josh started to drink copious amounts of alcohol. It started off as a somewhat worrying aside to him as a person, but quickly turned into a centerfold of his entire brand. Eventually, people began tuning in for no other reason than to see the kind of shenanigans Josh will get up to while hammered. Conversely, this led to Josh creating even more content in order to sate his fans' newfound desire to see him drunk, as he began to release dozens of videos where he was drinking himself silly or already very drunk and acting crazy. He would do the same on streams, where we got to see more of his raw, unfiltered self. This is all despite the fact that, at least in the beginning, he clearly wasn't very good at handling alcohol, probably because he never even had a sip of it prior to turning 21.
What the hell is happening to me? I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh.
This stream archive in particular is quite noteworthy. Besides displaying just how inexperienced Joshua was at this point with drinking, it includes at least one interesting tidbit.
I'm sorry for everything bad I did. I'm sorry. Please, if I die, don't send me to hell. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry for stomping on that fish. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll never do anything like that.
This may actually be the first time he'd ever given a genuine apology for the whole fish incident. While he's obviously inebriated, it does make one wonder how he actually feels about it, or if he actually does understand how what he had done was wrong. Or perhaps it's just a drunk person drunkenly rambling. This new habit of his would only become more uncontrollable as time went on, with every subsequent stream becoming more and more unhinged. One good example is present in this clip, where he's being aggressively encouraged to consume more drinks while in a club bathroom as he pees on stream without even a hint of shame. However, things did not truly hit a fever pitch until Josh made a brand new friend, Michael Quinn. To give you a little introduction to Michael Quinn, he's a man somewhere between 40 to 60 years old, whose greatest genuine claim to fame is inheriting a company by the name of Feltman's Hot Dogs, which, as the name suggests, is famous for selling hot dogs. In fact, the company was so famous that it would eventually land him a TV interview on NBC. He's also a bit of a TikToker in his own right, although to call him that in earnest would be to give TikTokers a bad name. If you think that's somehow possible, with a grand total of 720 followers, and a few more across his other social media accounts. He truly was a nobody prior to meeting Josh, at least in terms of having a following. But they met at some point in late 2022, at which point he and Michael would start to make content together. Some of the early videos seemed innocent enough, including featuring on a YouTube channel called Flavors of New York. However, things quickly devolved. And while there would be some scattered collabs like this, their focus quickly changed to where the real money was. At some point, Josh would hire Michael as his personal manager, wherein he would take a percentage of Josh's personal revenue in exchange for, as far as I can tell, pretty much doing nothing, other than following Josh around and encouraging him to drink more. Michael would quickly begin appearing in Josh's videos, perhaps being even more of a nuisance than Josh himself. He would regularly enable every bad behavior Josh engaged in, egging him on to get as many views as possible, no matter the cost to his well-being or dignity. It wasn't long before Michael was absolutely reviled in the World of T-Shirts community. While people on TikTok would always welcome an opportunity to make Joshua do even more dumb things, the World of T-Shirts subreddit was not nearly so polite towards him, and over the next few months, he would get absolutely railed by both Reddit and YouTube, with most of the criticism centering around the fact that he's basically just a clout leech, trying to siphon as much fame out of Josh as he possibly can. Naturally, Mike would go out of his way to defend himself from these haters, and he did so in the best way he knew how. Poorly. He would make a number of videos on his personal TikTok account, most of which are deleted today, where he would basically make the argument that he's actually helping Josh and others whom he works with. He would also regularly make the argument that he's actually trying to moderate just how much Josh drinks, with Josh himself drunkenly telling us that he only vomits when he's drinking alone. Of course, not a whole lot of people really took that defense very seriously. Pretty much the entire following that he would get from Josh were people who hated his guts, occupying the comment sections of his TikToks. But the hate campaign didn't stop there. Entire channels would pop up whose sole purpose was to document him and his behavior. In particular, a TikTok channel called Quinning2 would start re-uploading TikToks from Michael's personal account, as well as dozens of clips from the TikTok lives, capturing the craziest moments. This account would not be the only one to accuse Michael of being an out-and-out gooner. A post on the World of T-Shirts subreddit would make the same argument, highlighting an interaction from a live stream between Michael and Joshua, which sadly hadn't been archived. The post recounts how Michael was clearly trying to make Josh drink as much as possible by drinking alongside him, goading him into doing shots, in between telling Josh to defend him from the haters. The post also mentions how, for an upcoming trip to Paris, if it was okay for Michael to pay for everything and then give Joshua some extra allowance, which the commenter called sugar daddy behavior. The internet would throw a lot more accusations at Michael Quinn. On the Daniel Larson wiki, Michael has an entire article dedicated to him, where he's accused of being a substance abuser who's addicted to either benzos or coke. Claims like these are mostly based on a number of, let's just say, very memorable appearances. On multiple occasions, he would go on TikTok live and look absolutely off his rocker. One of these, helpfully enshrined on Reddit, sees Michael talking to someone of very vaguely Mediterranean descent. While we don't know the full context of this clip, what it shows is very telling, as Michael lays into them with some very harsh words, including the repeated use of the N-word with the hard R, all while looking completely stoned or hammered hammered out of his mind. Wait, is Michael Quinn actually base? This video, as well as others, quickly led to even more backlash, and it made the Reddit detectives go into overdrive trying to figure out what kind of drugs he's on. One commenter noted it's most likely benzos mixed with alcohol. I'm not a medical expert, try to take these comments with a pinch of salt. This is Reddit after all, but it's possible, I guess. Regardless of the veracity of these claims, what matters here is that the backlash against Michael simply kept growing. And as time went on, more and more things about him would come to the limelight. People found all kinds of interesting factoids when they began to dig into his personal history, where they found that he actually used to be a substitute teacher.
Michael Quinn getting bullied as substitute teacher.
Okay? This is not gonna go on anymore. Enough! Okay, if the learner has!
Eventually, this backlash entered the YouTube sphere, where it extended from just mocking Michael and actually was redirected to even further attention getting on Josh. A number of videos came out discussing Josh's obvious drinking problem, mostly by small YouTubers, as there was never exactly a mainstream drive behind any of these. Still, you had small creators like Zaid Gets Laid making comprehensive critiques of the guy, sharing Joshua's rapid descent into degeneracy. This is where CD re-enters the picture. He would initially post a video on his TikTok channel where he criticized Michael for enabling Joshua's alcohol habit, making the point that he clearly had the resources to genuinely help him, but that he simply didn't care to do so.
I've been reluctant to make this video, but I'm going to. I was on this guy Michael Quinn's live stream last night when he was drinking with World of T-Shirts on a Monday. I have to say, I do take an issue with you paying for World of T-Shirts' drinks when he's obviously a struggling alcoholic. This guy says he wants to help Josh, yet publicly contributes to his downward spiral into alcoholism. Okay, so you pay for his phone bill. Great, do you want a cookie? The fact is, you've probably done irreversible damage to Joshua's life. You have the ability and resources to probably get Josh some help, but I do not think you care or want to. I firmly believe that if Josh had friends his own age that were good influences on him, that he would be alright.
While it was a fairly harmless video compared to the other accusations, it seems this one got a lot more attention, as Michael himself took notice of it. In a now deleted TikTok, he said CD was dead to Joshua, hinting at their former friendship. At the same time, another large TikToker called Ryan the Lion, who also happens to be within Michael's cadre of friends, would reply to it, effectively dismissing the accusations. This, along with some other comments, led CD to release a much more in-depth video on his YouTube channel. In this scathing critique, he admits that he wasn't really acquainted with Josh at this point. Still, he goes on to defend him, arguing that his alcoholism is entirely Michael's fault. He also highlights some statements made by him where he defends what he does by saying it's all for the good of the creators he works with. He accused him of being the reason Josh had stopped talking to CD in the first place, claiming Michael to be a manipulator who is separating Josh from all of his friends to keep his control.
The big thing I have a problem with is a sign of a manipulator is separating someone from their friends, their good influences, whatever. That is what Michael Quinn is doing. He is making sure that Josh now no longer has any contact with me. He's making sure that Josh is separated from anybody that could potentially take him away from you, Michael. And that is a sign of a manipulator / abuser.
CD goes on to show a clip of Michael saying something very, very inappropriate about Daniel Larson, basically threatening physical violence against the man for some reason. This really is the fucking Spurg Avengers coming together to just go to war with each other, and this particular drama would eventually develop into something bigger. But for now, we'll keep it at that. While there admittedly isn't much new information in the CD video, it's at least worth noting that CD does genuinely seem to care about Joshua, which most other people frankly don't. At the very least, it seems they had been really good friends prior to Michael breaking them up. As far as I can tell, Michael never replied to this officially, apart from a few snide comments made at CD's expense. Likely, he didn't really want to bring more attention to it, given CD was probably right. Of course, this didn't stop people from continuing to hurl some very fair criticism his way, which only led to him responding more and more negatively. In the end, for all the criticism, Michael never really stopped hanging out with Josh. To this day, he continues to walk around New York with him and even travel the world with him, and all expenses paid trips to Italy, Iceland, and anywhere else you can think of. While he constantly catches more and more negative attention, it doesn't seem he's that fazed by it. Not least of all because he doesn't actually rely on TikTok as a means of getting an income, given his own pre-existing hot dog wealth. As Joshua's manager, Michael would, of course, try to contribute to the management side of things, which he did by diversifying his income streams. Of these, one suggestion would really take root: World of T-Shirts New York Tour. A brainchild of Michael and Josh's collective brain power, it would see the duo do basically the same thing they always do, while also having multiple people tag along with them, pretending to act as tour tour guides. On a website called Holy Prof Web, it's described as a unique and immersive experience, exactly 5 times. The whole article seems written by AI, fluffing up the whole tour as much as possible while also padding out the word count. But other than this obvious shill review, it also has a whole website dedicated to it, as well as its own section on the World of T-Shirt's primary website. The dedicated website itself looks less professional than any WordPress or anything site I've ever seen. In fact, being kind of a shitty website, it doesn't actually say that it's being run by Joshua either, instead being portrayed as a tour inspired by World of T-Shirts, whatever that is supposed to mean. It captures the essence of World of T-Shirts, the flavor profile. However, despite Josh's no doubt staggering star power, the tour was received pretty poorly. Clips would begin to pop up of people filming themselves partaking in the activity, and pretty much all of them were done in mockery of Josh and Michael.
There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
We ended up in Times Square. He danced, ran upstairs 10 times, and left.
Perhaps even more amusing than these clips, however, are the Google Maps reviews of the service. Boasting a grand score of 1.7 stars, he hasn't exactly been showered by praise, and one glance at the reviews should give you an idea why. The first review that pops up claims that Josh had showed up to the starting spot of the tour already completely hammered, and even having pissed his pants prior to showing up, only to call the review's author an unemployed piece of shit when asked if he would get him a complimentary drink. Another review posted by an actual tour guide was equally as scornful, giving a similar recollection of events as the first one, with the addition that he actually threatened to sue some of the people there for no discernible reason. You get pretty much the same story scrolling through the rest of the reviews, with just about every positive review being some sort of troll, or otherwise just not taking it very seriously. Indeed, the tour became so infamous for its shoddiness that it ended up catching some attention on YouTube and TikTok, with creators like LolCow Designs even going through the reviews for content. Oddly, if you look for reviews of it via the Google search engine, you'll probably find this little article on a website called Passion Fruit. This review gives us a very different view of Josh, although perhaps not a very different view of the tour itself. He describes, in short, the process of booking a tour, which involved receiving a waiver via Google Docs, which warned the World of T-Shirts would not be liable if the author were to be bitten by rats during the tour. Not sure why that's so specifically listed. I've personally toured New York, and I've never had any liability waiver list anything about being bitten by rats, but you never know what's going to happen with Josh. They would then set up a meeting, which Josh would show up to half an hour late for, at which point they had a very curt interview, which, as the author writes, had nothing he could actually use in his article. He then describes the tour, which involved them walking across the streets aimlessly, while the author asked Joshua questions about his life, as well as just tried to really talk to him normally one-on-one. Josh would constantly give people side glances, paranoid that any single one of them could be a troll, and he rejected everyone who approached him for a photo. He justifies some of this paranoia with a story he tells the author from when he was in Texas. One day, when he came back to his hotel room, he saw that someone had broken in and defecated on his bed. At one point, Josh would pull out his phone, and as is usual for these tours, he would film a TikTok. After that, they took a metro ride on the train to Williamsburg, until they reached a bar by the name of Union Pool, where everyone was too old to recognize Josh. Then, they walked over to another bar, where the author alleges he bought Joshua a margarita as a thank you, at which point they said their goodbyes, and the autist-in-chief slunk away into the shadows. The article provides an interesting view of Josh, describing him as a very earnest and kind person, highlighting just how much he differs from the idea promulgated by social media. From clips of him behaving like a total nitwit to the thousands of hate videos made about him. Largely, the author seems satisfied, albeit he never spoke to the tour's quality. Overall, this was the most positive reception the tour ever got, and it's only positive because it entirely ignores the fact that there was even a, tour in the first place. Despite this, the project is still ongoing, with most of the tours getting a dedicated TikTok in lieu of Joshua's ceaseless hustling, all while being constantly babysat by a man twice his age, who is not his father or relative in any way. Speaking of Michael, as I've alluded to earlier, he would get Josh into a rather strange bit of beef with Daniel Larson, another channel favorite here. While it's hard to say exactly where it started, it seems that fans of the two respective creators were really pushing them to have a fight with each other in New York City. This led to the two of them to name drop each other, with Michael even supposedly trying to set up a boxing match. A lot of this drama is pretty much entirely contained to Michael's account, which has since been nuked. This complicates the process of tracking down how exactly it developed. What we do know is that at some point, Michael claimed that Daniel Larson had found his home address, even though there didn't seem to be much proof. This led to him releasing a video talking about how he would have to hire bodyguards for Josh to protect him from Daniel Larson.
Alright, so get this. I'm hiring a security detail even larger than the one that Donald Trump has to defend World of T-Shirts from Daniel Larson.
Conversely, Daniel would respond to what he deemed as threats from Michael by making a legal threat.
This message is for Michael Quinn. If you do not stop with the threats, then I will be forced to press charges and file a cease and desist.
This all came to a head with Michael trying to set up a meeting between Josh and Daniel, where the latter would have to travel to New York City all the way from California.
So after 2 hours of negotiations, we came to an agreement that Josh wants to meet Daniel Larson. It's going to happen. But the stipulations, a couple of stipulations.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I have to be there. It has to be a place they won't be doxxed.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that Netflix covers it.
Apparently, this little deal was preceded by Michael and Daniel meeting randomly on the street while they were both out, and they ended up chatting each other up before Daniel started to live stream with Mike.
I'm going to get the Nobel Peace Prize because I'm going to introduce him to World of T-Shirts, and the whole world is going to be beautiful.
The impression gathered by most was that Michael was basically trying to stir trouble between the two for no other reason than to farm clout. This is certainly a prevailing belief on the World of T-Shirts subreddit, where, as we've already discussed, people hate Michael's guts. Not that I really blame them. Nonetheless, this wouldn't stop the meeting from actually happening, and later in May, Daniel flew out to New York, where he finally met the dastardly duo in real life. Their whole meeting will be streamed on Michael's TikTok, which thankfully was archived. For the entirety of the meeting, they're sitting in a diner, eating food while Michael and Joshua record at the same time. For the most part, Daniel Larson and Joshua Block don't really seem that interested in actually talking to each other, seemingly only doing so out of politeness. It's pretty awkward to listen to. Meanwhile, Michael's the one largely driving the conversation, trying to get them to interact in a more entertaining manner, like when he randomly asked what kind of collabs they would do. In particular, Michael actually invited Daniel to Joshua's signature tour of New York.
Can you guys do like daily collaborations maybe in the city? Would you like that, Josh? Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome? You guys...
Tour on Friday night.
Yeah. Why don't you, would you let him join for free, the tour?
I can't do that. It's not fair. Like...
All right, you want me to pay for his tour? If he shows up, I'll pay for your tour.
The topic eventually shifts to Reddit, and especially about how terrible it is for spreading fake news about all three of them. Michael seems particularly livid throughout this discussion, making his opinion crystal clear.
I don't go on Reddit. I hate Reddit. All they do is make fun of me.
Well, they are a news source, and that's what the news
But they're
does.
fake news. They're terrible.
They're fake news, yeah.
It's worse than TMZ, yeah.
After this, Josh starts talking about how someone had created a Yelp account under his name, which resulted in him getting flooded with negative reviews, which, in his view, are entirely misplaced, given that he's never actually received a complaint from any of his fans for his services. He does not bring up the Google reviews, if you were wondering, but honestly, I would doubt that he even knows they exist. After a short discussion about how both Josh and Daniel were regularly getting swatted, Michael, once again showing he's puppet mastering this thing, forces in Joshua's signature catchphrase.
Josh, do me a favor. Ask Daniel if he's ever been on Tinder.
Have you been on Tinder? Yes. Mine got said B-A-N-E-D.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? B-A-N-E-D.
Bans. He's banned from Tinder.
Right, okay.
I've largely avoided mentioning it as it's frankly kind of cringe, but after the original Side Talk interview, where the banned from the Gucci store meme had been born, Josh would try to relight that flame by morphing the meme into something different. As we already know, he took the word banned and made it part of his whole advertising persona. Subsequently, he would turn it into a catchphrase, in which he changed the Gucci store to Tinder.
I go to open Tinder. What does B-A-N-N-E-D mean?
Banned.
Banned? I don't have insurance.
But back to the interview, the discussion loops back to swatting and doxing. In particular, Josh brings up how, due to people doxing a lot of the bars he goes to, a lot of bartenders would outright refuse to serve him. Knowing Joshua, he probably sees this as the absolute worst thing that could happen to him. The most interesting part of this whole clip is a rather brief part during which Michael asks Joshua if he's gonna stop drinking, clearly doing so to solicit a view-worthy reaction. Joshua responds to this in a rather interesting manner, accepting that he does indeed have a drinking problem, but says he's unwilling to commit to stopping.
You're gonna quit drinking, right?
No.
No?
I'll moderate my drinking.
What about quit altogether? What you think you should, maybe? What do you think, Dan? You think you should quit drinking?
No, I don't think I should quit. I should cut down, though.
You should cut down.
Cut down, yes. Because you drink too.
You know, I don't end up in the hospital once a week, you know?
Yeah, I've only been in the hospital twice.
I think once is more than enough, you know?
He also reveals that his drinking problem has led him to end up in the hospital twice. Of course, he doesn't say it with a level of severity that that kind of statement should warrant, but he does say it. After that, there's not much to say about the interview. Michael does his best to keep the chat going as long as possible, and to the credit of our two TikTok e-celebrities, they are decent at engaging in casual conversation with each other by the end. Josh seems excited for an upcoming trip to Vegas, Vegas, with perhaps the most interesting part being the fact he's mildly worried about his safety, as he's unwilling to leave the touristy areas. He seems to have a fear of the rascals of Las Vegas. In the end, Daniel and Josh part ways, having officially made peace, which is then further discussed between Josh and Mike. It's strange to hear Michael talk about it as though it had been some earth-shattering drama, considering it was completely astroturfed by him and then ended by him. There isn't really much of a takeaway here, nor a whole lot resulting from it. The much-hyped collabs they talked about never really materialized, and in the eyes of most, the meeting was pretty underwhelming, not helped by the fact that most of it was just being steered by Michael. The most entertaining thing people got out of it was this brief animated clip, which parodied the whole interaction.
What does B-A-N-N-E-D mean?
Strangely though, despite this beef seemingly being over, this didn't exactly put an end to the back and forth. While Josh was absent from it from this point on, Michael and Daniel continued to make comments about each other, although 90% of it was coming from Michael, with Daniel just occasionally firing back. Admittedly, this got pretty weird. About 2 months after the interview, Daniel Larson made a very odd series of tweets where he made the claim that he just had intimate relations with Michael Quinn. I don't know if that's true. Considering it's Daniel Larson, I'd say that it's 100% certified true by true-based American patriots. It's probably not true. Yeah. There isn't much more to say about Michael after this. At least nothing relevant to us.
How you doing?
His main account got deleted, and his presumed second account also got deleted. Since then, he tried to reestablish himself, with a TikTok I showed being his latest attempt. As for Josh, things would only continue to get worse and more complicated for him. His behavior would become more and more erratic, not to mention more and more controversial. While he'd largely avoided the attention of YouTubers before, a lot of people, largely smaller creators, would start making videos about him, as clips of his outbursts were circulating again and again.
I am listening to
made its way around
this YouTuber called Turkey Tom, and normally he does like documentaries on like lolcows, that's what they're called, where everyone just kind of like watches them to, hey, I'm almost like under that definition, but I don't think I'm that big to be considered a lolcow. But yeah, he's covering the story of this guy called Josh Blog, and he's called World of T-shirts. So it's like this autistic guy that's like 21 or some shit that like he drinks way more than me, so I'm just listening to it so I can feel a bit better about my alcoholism.
Was from a live stream of Josh from sometime in early 2023. The stream started innocently enough until the King of New York is approached by someone claiming to be a fan, only to really quickly devolve into whatever this is.
My name's Guzman, and I've been hired by somebody on TikTok.
I just did a Gnomergan for Chance at the Mount. Finished it. Now I'm just gonna do some Arathi Bazin. I really don't feel like leveling up else this phase.
It turns out
if
this
it
man
means
is
incursions
Douglas Skates,
is like
who, from what I
the
can gather,
meta.
is a bit of a professional troll, having approached Josh mainly for clout. As you can see, Josh isn't exactly enthused to talk to him, which leads to a very strange back and forth wherein Josh tries to leave the man as far behind as possible, only for Douglas to always catch up to him, to which Josh always seems pretty shocked.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm here to help. No. If I'm calling the fucking police.
This would keep happening pretty much for the entirety of the live stream, with Douglas constantly popping out of nowhere, just spawning in place, always able to find Josh within a few minutes of losing him. This should, of course, not really be surprising given Josh continued to stream his location, meaning Douglas could easily just watch it, find out where he is again, and then wait for him to leave, and then find him again. This clip ended up circulating both on TikTok and YouTube, mainly due to Josh's very, very angry disposition towards Douglas. Doug himself would release clips of his interactions as part of a larger video, where, as the title suggests, he's trying to get banned from every library in town.
Chill out, bro. We're cool. Oh, wait, we're cool. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm taking care of him. He's getting...
I have a character. Like with all I've heard so far, it sounds like the pre-patch for Kata is like a shitso, and people are just doing BGs, and like from level 14 they like level up to 70 or some shit from like 1 win or something stupid like that. So it's like, I don't even know if I want to. I have another account separate from this Season of Discovery account where I have like a level 80 shaman, like that I'm waiting to. I leveled it up for the purpose of Kata, but it's like I'm almost not really looking forward to it because it's like the same small team as Season of Discovery, and like this ain't even that perfect really. I mean, unless you're playing a shaman, then yeah. Who the hell just... oh, this guy. But yeah, it's a bit sketch. I don't know, a bit. I'm thinking I almost might go play Dawn Trail when it comes out for Final Fantasy 14. Are you playing Kata? I'm assuming you are if you ask the question.
Don't hit me, sir. Look, bro.
As more and more of his public outbursts were exposed via compilations and re-uploads, Josh will start catching the...
And then I also heard you can't like leave the dungeon finder, random dungeon finder, unless you type in like a code or whatever. Like you can't actually leave it. You gotta like type in a script to leave or some shit like that. I see all over Reddit people are like, yeah, there's like private servers that are better than this. I mean, I've played Apollo and I leveled up a shaman from 1 to 85 on there. I didn't seem to have any issues with that my entire playthrough. I mean, I was doing like was I doing RDF? I forget. I'd have to look back on the stream. That was like almost a year ago I played Apollo. I feel like almost.
The attention of the commentary scene, resulting in a number of videos being released about him, namely from Kiwi Tapes. But more interesting than most of these videos is a release from a channel called Masshole Media. The channel released a video in the form of a documentary where the filming crew shows us a day in the life of Joshua Block. It does give us a pretty interesting look at the kind of person Josh is, being fairly polite with the filming crew throughout. We get to see what he...
What do you play on for SoD? Like what class do you play? Priest bitch. That's the way I like it. This was not fun playing when there was like 50% damage reduction. Like, sure, I felt like a healing god, but now I just kill people in seconds once they finish with the test here. But then I also kind of die in seconds as well. It's like we're all glass cannons here. Oh shit, I don't have a trinket. Yeah, if I was in tank mode, I would definitely survive that, but not in this squish mode. Priest? You a priest healer or a shadow priest? Does that mean you've healed me before? Back in like classic era? I'm gonna go fuck with the people at stables. There's too much there. Heal priest. So disc? Or is it holy, the one that has like PI or whatever, power infusion? Deepest is like, give me that. And they're all salivating at their mouth like more than melee is for Wind Fury. You wanna fuck? Yeah, he wants to fuck. Oh. I just touched him for like a second and he's dead. God, I love fighting clothes. Disc, yeah. Did you used to play disc before Season of Discovery? The heal to almost full HP. He goes in for the... Oh no, I got the help of a rogue. Oh shit, our boy died? Okay. So then when you played on this, you said you've played on like on the same server as me at some point. Have you ever healed me before? Oh, he's laughing at me. Shit. That guy's tanky. I think it's like Soul Link or some shit. I mean, I could honestly beat his ass if he didn't have like a homeboy helping him. So you've just heard of me through the grapevine then? Or was I very active in like looking for group chat? I could main tank everything in that place until the last boss, then I like actually need like a real tank to tank that shit. Cause like I would get destroyed by him, but like I could tank every other boss in Kara as Shaman. You gonna laugh at me again, you little gnome prick? Eh. Oh, you little bastard. Me versus Herod. I mean, it was like me versus like every fucking small server, basically. Like Herod was, it was like one of the many servers I'd been on and like banned, and like I make a new account and go somewhere else. Through it like Classic Era and Season of Mastery. I definitely remember Herod. I don't know if that was before I was in Mancrick. I might have been Mancrick. Don't go SD. But I wanna. Fine, I'll go this way. The rogue's telling me not to go. Parkour. Yeah, that little warlock's kicked my ass plenty of times. Oh, ground that shit. Oh, this guy popped evasion, I think. Oh. I remember there was a point where I was just almost like kind of basically done with WoW until like TBC, so I like suicided my account because I knew it was like there's one more ban or like suspension before it's like a perm ban on this account, so I just called everyone the N-word as soon as like my 1 month was done. I came right back in. I gibbed that account. I was like, I need to start fresh anyways. Oh shit. This fucking little warlock bitch. Ugh. I think it was, yeah, somewhere near the end of like Classic Era to TBC. And I forget how many accounts I've been on, like 7, 8 different accounts throughout my Classic career. I'm a professional at leveling Shaman Tank at this point. But I remember my first Shaman Tank was like a male troll. His name was Totemic Bulge. I don't know if like I was that character on Herod or what was it? Actually, Herod I think was where I started. I think because I think that's where my brother and our work friend we all played on Herod. I think that's why I was on that server. I think. I forget. It's too many different servers I've been on here and there. I can't keep track of them all. Yeah, I was testing it in like she calls it Scarlet Monastery with the new burn change. That came out yesterday, yeah. But like I can do a lot more damage, but like since I can't like go Rockbiter and go Way of Earth like and tank all the mobs, it's like almost not fast at all. Like in terms of like money making at least, like definitely more DPS, like even just pulling 4 or 5 mobs with that build, but it's like I was dying way too often because I just didn't have the tankiness of a Way of Earth and Rockbiter. So it's like, it's almost not worth. At that point, I just went back to double Deep Enhance Tank, and Deep Enhance DPS. And I feel I actually do better as Deep Enhance because I'm able to like tank like 10 mobs, and it like kind of tickles my butthole. Oh, come on, let me survive this. Ugh. But I'm kind of missing the 50% damage reduction because like well, at least as enhanced, it's like a glass cannon, so I either play Shaman Tank or I gotta go back Ellie. But I guess I kind of have the gear to go Ellie at this point. Like, it's just taking up space right now, but like I need to buy my 50 gold like bank slot and like get another bag to like put all of my spell power gear in for like, I'll probably play it at level 60, I'm assuming. I forget the build. I mean, there was a point, at least one point in it, Classic Era, where I was playing Elemental. Like in BGs, I was like all the way down into Elemental Mastery. But also at that point, like there was this transition of like, I need to go into spell power gear to hold threat off of like BWL Nax gear people. I need to go spell power to like do more threat than them basically. So I built like a whole Ellie set, but it was like mainly for like the half and half build that I was kind of doing, where it went down to Elemental Fury. It's like 31 points and then 30 points in here, or no, it was 21 points in Elemental Fury, then 30 in here, but you couldn't get far down enough for Storm Strike, and like this would be like your deepest talent and enhances that builds. Yeah, I know it's actually broken in PvP because like you're like in range and you're not getting attacked and shit. Yeah, you're like a glass cannon now version of like how enhanced Shaman is like a glass cannon, because we can go double Wind Fury and like make 1-2 seconds contact with like a clothy caster and then like they're dead. But it's like I also die super easily as well, so it's like a glass cannon build for Elliot now, since you can't go Way of Earth. With the change, I feel like people would be more obliged to go on a Ellie Shaman now with that burn buff. Cause like with all my spell power gear, I'm able to get like 394 spell power, so that's pretty fucking huge. But yeah, I was seeing my Fire Shock like crit for 1k on the initial just applying what you calls it, Fire Shock. So that would be like 5k damage in one button press with the amount of spell power I had. Ooh, they must have 2 rogues. That guy actually destroyed my ass, but like also he had evasion up, so I couldn't hit him, couldn't build Maelstrom there, so I just couldn't self-heal. Plus he's got a stun. Unless I trinket the stun, I guess. Like, I've got a good chance against rogues. I feel like if it was like 30 or 25 damage reduction, but also something that has like damage reduction for or healing reduction rather. You little shit. Oh. Oh wow, we got 5 capped. Yeah, just let it happen, boys. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go Ellie at some point in like next phase. I've got like all my gear. Now I'm doing like Gnomergan so I can get the spell power trinket and the spell power ring. Then I'm like, I mean, I guess there's gear I can get from Sunken Temple, but like right now my main focus is to get my epic main hand, so I have the 2 set here. But yeah, with that damage reduction thing, and they didn't have like any healing reduction, I felt like a god as Shaman, because like the off heals were insane, or even just self heals from Maelstrom buildup. Did this guy die? Oh. Alright, I'm gonna take a piss while this queue is queuing.
He looks and acts like when he's not the one holding the camera, and frankly, he seems like a pretty nice dude when he's not plastered out of his mind.
How come, excuse me, is it true that, like, I looked on Google and bartenders can't accept an out-of-state ID in Mass? Is that
No,
true?
that's not true. That's not true.
How come I saw that on Google? Like, is it like a law that they can't accept it, but they don't enforce it?
We also get to see some more candid interactions with fans, who end up approaching him in droves. This time around, he does accept photo opportunities and doesn't actually ask for money from anyone. In general, the documentary puts quite a positive spin on Josh and his behavior, which frankly was a pretty refreshing find. But it doesn't exactly break new grounds by giving us more lore, other than making one very interesting assertion regarding Josh's drinking habit.
The alcohol situation with Josh, from what I saw and who I spoke with, he has about 4 to 5 drinks a day. We went to 2 bars and he just got out of dinner when I saw him. So he probably had 3 drinks when around the time when I was around. It wasn't like going to one bar, having 5 drinks,
We
then leaving, going to
if
the
I
next
find
bar,
someone doing like BFD, I'll join that just to like
sit on it, he'd do whatever. He'd
I
walk
could
around for
literally
another
solo
hour,
it
30
if it weren't
minutes,
for the
whatever,
5th boss.
and then we'd
There
go
needs
to
to be
another
like
bar
one
and he'd have
person not
another drink.
asleep.
That's kind of what I perceived it as. Obviously,
Once he puts me
people
to
are gonna
sleep
have
for
other
the first
stories
boss, it
and
just
kind of
ends the
explain what
encounter,
they've
so
seen
I
from
just
him,
can't
whether
solo
it goes
that.
towards and
I was
whatever.
able to solo the first
But
4
he was
bosses in
controlling
BFD.
it, and he was doing like a very, very good job, and he was still coherent. I didn't notice anything out of the blue.
Suffice to say, the Masshole channel has a rather flowery view of Josh's alcoholism, although admittedly finding out how bad his drinking is kind of hard. Given the statements by his customers, we know it's pretty bad, but without concrete numbers, it's hard to tell if he's, like, you know, pretty degenerate alcoholic or on the verge of death. But as luck would have it, we wouldn't be without concrete data for long, as the same month of the doc's release, a channel will be created on TikTok
David,
with a clear purpose.
do you,
to answer the question
still
of
play
just how
Shaman
bad
Tank?
Josh's
Or
alcoholism
mainly
is,
just
the
DPS
channel is
now?
pretty amusingly
Or,
called a World of
PvP?
Alcohol Tracker, and it boasts 170,000 followers of its own, pretty much spending its entire time keeping up on Josh's day-to-day activities, with a big focus on keeping track of how much he drinks. This is best exemplified by his very first video, where he notes down every single drink Josh had consumed on camera, calculating that, accounting for loss of blood alcohol level due to sobering up in between drinks, he would have had around 0.21% blood alcohol content level by 8 p.m., having started drinking around noon. For context, if you blow a 0.8 when you get pulled over, you're probably going to get a DUI. So Josh is at triple that amount. With a slight break following the second video, this guy went on to diligently catalog Joshua's alcohol consumption for every single day from the 31st of October all the way up to January. He even documented a few more relevant metrics, including the amount of money Josh would spend on drinks and even the amount of calories consumed. The channel got a shocking amount of attention, especially considering that it really hasn't been around that long and is like a niche account following a relatively niche person in the grand scheme of things, just covering his alcohol addiction. It's such a small area of anything to focus on, and it blew up, which if anything shows just how fascinated people are with the world of t-shirts. Less than 2 weeks after posting his first video, he posted another breakdown, which ended up netting him over 2 million views, and in that video he concluded that throughout the 8th of November 2023, Josh got to a blood alcohol level of around 0.22, paid roughly $25, and consumed around 2,300 calories. For those who don't know, 2,300 calories is around what an average male his age would eat in a day, and he was consuming that in alcohol alone. The whole channel serves as a stark reminder of just how bad Josh's addiction has gotten, and given that he hits at least 0.2 across pretty much all these videos, it's clear that this man is drinking himself into an early grave. This new perspective on Josh led to a lot of attention being brought back to the World of T-Shirts channel, which was largely negative. While most had always been vaguely aware of his problem, these videos opened a lot of people's eyes to just how bad the problem was. Conversely, Josh and Michael would both end up learning about the tracker. According to the tracker himself, Michael came out against him, arguing he was sending people to Josh who would actively encourage him to drink more. Tracker dismissed that idea wholesale, arguing the only people encouraging it are people from Michael's side of things, which is definitely true.
I'm not here to physically help Josh anymore. I'm just here to leverage his account and his content to help people. I've gotten hundreds of messages validating that people are drinking less because of this content, are more mindful about their drinking, and I think this is all great positive reinforcement that this content is helping people. So I'm so happy for that. I'm happy for all of you guys. And as MQ says in this clip, my viewers or community are the ones telling Josh, oh, you need to get to 16, you need to break a new personal record. Those people are from his own community, and they have been the ones from day one of his drinking, career on TikTok. They're the ones egging him on.
Regardless of what Michael Quinn might want us to believe, everyone knew that Josh had a problem, regardless of the tracker's presence. Things are really put into perspective when we reach the end of 2023, with an update for December 31st. In it, he gives a breakdown for the whole day. But the really interesting part comes later when he looks back over the entire month of December. According to his study, we find out Josh has spent around $1,500 on alcohol, with an average blood alcohol level at around 0.08, which once again is when you get a DUI. He would only spend 34% of the month sober, being at least slightly drunk 64% of the time, above driving limit for 40% of the time, and blackout drunk about 9% of the time. From this, he would also draw an average for the entire year, asserting that throughout 2023, Josh would have spent around $18,000 on alcohol and consumed 575,000 calories from drinking alone. Frankly though, while the tracker undoubtedly did really good work, it's really hard to see this having much of an effect. The truth is that Josh is showing no signs of changing at all, and pretty much for the whole last year, he's been stuck in Groundhog Day, doing the same thing over and over again to an audience of people who, for the most part, couldn't really care less what happens to him. This is best exemplified when you look at his channel today. While he still gets respectable views, compounded by the fact that he releases up to a dozen videos in a single day, the comment sections are universally filled with either trolls who want him to drink more, or people referencing the tracker who, while not being fans of him, do care enough to at least say that he should stop drinking. We live in a time when pretty much anyone can get famous for anything, and there's no better example of this than TikTok. The number of absolute degenerates who gain popularity just for that is uncountable. Given that, it shouldn't be a surprise that Joshua Block has found so much success. For all of his faults, one can't deny his achievements. He managed to turn his status as a lol cow into a little career, and to this day he makes enough money to fund his very expensive drinking habit. But that's simultaneously the tragedy of it. He's always encouraged to continue this self-destructive behavior with no regard for how it affects his mental and physical health because it keeps getting views. In that, it's hard to feel anything but pity for this guy. Despite his flawed personality, the truth is that he's not nearly as bad as many other people on the platform, and frankly, he is literally autistic. Like, this guy kind of needs help, and it's not from Michael Quinn. To see him self-destruct in such a spectacular fashion is pretty heartbreaking. I can't predict what will happen to the guy, but personally, I do hope he gets better at some.
Doctor, what's your diagnosis?
I'm drunk.
Not you, other doctor.
Oh my goodness. Face transplants, dying feet, and extreme roadside procedures. Today we are breaking down and reacting to the dramatic medical scenes and dire injuries from the good doctor. All right, let's dive right in.
Stop!
I'm gonna call 911.
Oh, car accident, okay.
Hello.
Do all doctors get out of the car and run to a car accident? Probably not. There is something called the Good Samaritan law, but then again, you still have to kind of be aware of the situation that you're putting yourself in.
I'm Dr. Sean Murphy. Where are you hurt? It's my hand.
If the patient is safe, get away from the vehicle. You never know what's going to happen.
Fourth and fifth fingers are broken. If you have no other injuries...
Sean! Over here!
I mean, it's pretty good. He had like some basic stuff in a bag. I do carry basic medical supplies in my car. Good that somebody was able to check the other car. We always ask EMS, what does this scene look like? We want to know how much intrusion there is of one car into the other or metal into the car.
My chest hurts when I breathe.
So wearing a seatbelt, airbags.
Tachycardia and your jugular is distended, which are signs of a cardiac tamponade.
The heart rate's going fast, jugular venous distension, meaning so your jugular veins are here, and if they are sticking out, you have cardiac tamponade, meaning that there is a lot of pressure around the heart due to fluids.
What are you gonna do with that?
Subxiphoid pericardiocentesis. An echo-guided one would be better, but I don't have a J-tipped wire or an echo machine.
There we go. Typically when we do these in the emergency department, and because of technology, we can do them under ultrasound guidance. In an emergent situation, when somebody's already potentially dead, you're doing CPR and you're trying to revive them. So it doesn't happen that way. Obviously, this is a show, but you literally are snaking it right underneath the xiphoid, okay? It was going up into the left shoulder of the patient, but he was going in a pretty deep angle in the sense you probably go a little bit more 45 degrees versus he's a little bit closer to 90 degrees. And you would do it actually quite slowly until you saw blood starting to come out.
We've kept your daughter on life support because we...
What does it mean first to be kept on life support, right? Typically that means somebody is on a ventilator machine, meaning that they are intubated, they have a breathing tube going through their vocal cords and the machine is breathing for you. And then typically you're also getting hydration as well as nutrients.
I want to ask about organ donation. You want her heart?
You decide, okay, do we continue to leave somebody on life support? Is the patient brain dead? And then having the organ donation conversation as well, which is always difficult.
And we just received permission from her next of kin.
We use fancy terms like next of kin outside of like family members. Next of kin is the individual that can make decisions for that person since they're not able to. What you see right there is a internal fixation, but like an external fixator. The ability to move and shift the bones, especially since the bones might have been so displaced that you couldn't have them sit the way that they are. So they will put pins and rods and then be able to adjust them. Facial transplants, very difficult. It takes a very skilled surgeon or multiple surgeons, especially relating to the blood vessels and the nerves.
Proximal facial nerve isolated and dissected.
Okay, let's start the heavy lifting.
So heavy lifting meaning probably lifting off of the face of the donor versus the face of the recipient.
Clamping the left and right common carotid arteries and jugular veins.
Basically clamping off all the blood vessels going to the major arteries going up. Typically we wouldn't do that because when you feel for a pulse, you're always taught you only feel one pulse in the neck at a time because you don't want to decrease blood flow to the brain by compressing both down. So this must be the donor to where they don't have to unfortunately worry about that. Whoa, I mean this is good graphics. Wow. They're just removing the skin, the nerves, the blood supply of the face, one big piece, to put it on the other individual, meaning that the bone structures underneath of the other individuals are most likely intact because of the previous surgeries that that person has already had.
Yes, calprostadol is the same drug as PGE, but in a different concentration.
We need to run the IV.
I love it. I've done the same thing where you run it into like the supply area to get all the things that you need. But typically we can put an order in for the procedure that we're doing, and then an emergency medicine tech or an ER room tech will grab everything that we need.
At 0.056 milliliters per minute. That will give the baby 0.1 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Pushing 0.1.
Wow, that's a lot of math done really, really fast. We have a pharmacist that really helps us with this stuff, with the numbers, because it gets quite complicated, how quickly to push it. There are also machines in the emergency department, those IV machines where you actually put the med in the machine, put the exact dose, and the machine actually helps calculate how fast it needs to run.
Restarting compressions.
You're letting the medication work, but it's got to circulate. So to be able to have it circulate, you need to continue to do CPR and compressions.
Pulse, not palpable.
No, push 0.2 of the solution. Restarting compressions.
Dr. Murphy.
No, push 0.2.
Dr. Murphy, the baby's flatlining.
No,
There's nothing more
no,
we can
I
do.
can save her.
Sean.
People in medicine feel like we can get everybody back, and so when you can't, you know, it's a huge emotional pull on yourselves, and people handle it differently.
We just lost a baby because this hospital wasn't prepared.
Well, no, the good doctor is straight up autistic, so he's gonna have different response than a normal dude that's not autistic.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
And the question ends up being, can you use expired medications? Well, unfortunately, here in the United States, you're not allowed to do that. But we do know, and we've had conversations about this, that, you know, even though a medication is expired, does the efficacy of that medication totally disappear? Probably unlikely, but they typically don't do studies on expired medications to see if they continue to work. Got a blue foot.
Okay, doctor, what's your diagnosis?
I'm drunk.
Not you, other doctor.
Oh my goodness. Maybe for this individual's sake, it's good that they're a little bit intoxicated or inebriated and their senses are a little bit off, because that foot looks like it's going the wrong direction.
Well, given the degree of the rotation, you got the fact that the break is almost compound.
So I hate when in TV shows they use the word compound. We don't use that word in medicine. We use comminuted.
So we're dealing with a bimalleolar or trimalleolar.
So a bimalleolar or a trimalleolar fracture, what does that mean? So you have your medial and lateral malleoli, which are basically, the medial is the distal end of the tibia and the lateral is the distal end of the fibula. And so when those break, we call those a bimalleolar fracture. And when there is a break to the posterior aspect of the tibia as well, we call it a trimalleolar fracture, which basically just means that the ankle is no more attached to the lower extremity and it's free floating and bad.
Very good. What else? Color?
Pallor. No pulses.
Blood flow is restricted. It's for dying.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to reset it now. Hold his leg.
So good. So exactly what we just talked about, that you need to put it back in alignment because of the way it's positioned or the lack of flow.
No.
No, it's okay. No. This is just going to take a second. I need you to count to 3.
So quick, massive movements we do not do in the emergency department. We try to do things a little bit slower using physics and not using brute strength.
1,
2.
So we typically don't do that fast. You can, but we typically don't. But you can see that there's much better alignment. So you distract or you pull down to basically disengage it and then need to rotate it back into place. Obviously, they would have already had x-rays to know exactly the positioning. You splint it now. You dorsiflex the foot, basically meaning pushing the foot more forward towards him, and then you splint it in this position. So the good doctor, I actually really enjoy because they do show good medical cases. They discuss the medicine really well. Also, check out my new supplement company called Life Happens. So if you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here. Binge watch everything for me, please. It helps the channel. And as always, make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.
The Soul Reaper Axe is a high-hitting weapon that charges up with every swing, increasing its damage and powering up its special attack. When unleashed at 5 stacks, it can max a 67 on this pure account. This special attack consumes stacks and not special attack energy, so I can actually follow it up with the Grindable special attack for an unstoppable combo. The Arceus spellbook has prayer-draining abilities, so when coupled with the constant DPS of my axe and a very consistent KO potential combo, I'll be smiting everybody at my level. Dude, I misclicked, but I still could kill him? And we smited him too. Holy, the RNG. Jesus, that damage. Bro, that is disgusting. All right, we got all our stacks. Now we can stop safing so much. Oh my God. What the hell is this damage? Wait, I can hit 60s without a special? I'm risking it. I've got to. Like, there's no way you can survive. Like, I just have to go for that, right? You couldn't teleport. You couldn't out-eat it. Good fight, Beast. 1.5 million. Respect. Oh, bro. That was on a PID swap, so all 3 hits stacked perfectly, and that was like 100 damage. That is so unlucky for him. And a 1.5 mil loot for me. Good fight, mate. Good luck, boss. Good luck. Oh my God. A 45 and a 47. I'm just going to send it here, to be honest. Oh my. Wow. I'm so sorry. We didn't get the smite, but my gosh, was that a lot of DPS. 650k only. Good fight. Right, we're fully stacked now, which is nice. He's got no special, I think, unless he has another one lying around. I'm going to keep whacking him. And now we're going to spec. Oh my! That's what I've been waiting for. The max hit 67 into a double maul with the smite as well. Only 1 mil loot, but what a clip that was. There's one more hit. I will go for it here. Oh, no smite. 2 mil. Actually, that's not bad. That's actually quite a lot for a pure. Good fight, man. Respect for risking so much. It's a 20 defense account. I wonder what he's using as a +1. Saved a little bit in this fight, but I was trying to get my stacks up, you know. Go for it now. Don't spec. Oh, my. What did I hit? I didn't mean to spec, but I'm glad I did. I saw a 42 at Gmaul in that equation on a pure. That is disgusting, thanks to the Altar Ring. Okay, the loot's not disgusting, but I want to keep that clip anyway, because that damage was that was unreal. Good fight. Finish him. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess even without having Gmaul special, we can still combo like a 56, 57, and that can take people down. Good fight, man. 330k loot. A little bit depressing, but GG. All right, there's a 45. One more big one. 29. And I go for the smite. I don't know if that was a smite or not, but it was a pretty clean combo. Do I get a Gmaul or a +1? We do not. Oh, there's a big hit. One more. And I'll go for the special, and he'll get smited if he dies. But he couldn't live at the same time. He drank a prayer point in between. Oh, wow, that's a depressing amount of loot on the pure bracket. His +1's not big, to be fair. Send it. Dude, I messed up. I can still kill him. Smite him. Oh, my God, I misclicked so many times. We got the smite, 1.2 mil. The smite machine continues. Oh, my RNG. Oh, wow. We didn't get the smite, but that was just a ludicrous amount of damage. Non-stop combos, 875k. Maybe I should have gone for something there and not sat so low. Oh, this could be a smite, though. Oh, it wasn't a smite because he prioritized drinking a prayer potion over eating food. When you get those 6 stacks, all the stacks up, like 5 stacks, it does so much damage. 900k. While PKing with my Soul Reaper Axe, this Max Zerk with Inquisitor asked for a fight, and even though he had higher stats, Vengeance, and Max Gear, I just couldn't say no since his risk was just so high. Be careful. 888. Eat again. We lived. We lived. We lived. We survived his combo. I want to go for it, but he's too high HP. Maybe. Oh, 67 max hit. It happened. We just like full HP stacked him there. The Gmaul didn't have to take that much because I got the 67. And the loot is 250 mil. Respect to Zaddy. Good fight, man. I don't know why he risks so much. That is insane, dude. If you're enjoying the video thus far, then I'd really appreciate a like and a quick reminder to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the weekly PvP uploads. Oh, that's big. I want to go for it. After all these big hits, I need to just go for it. He drank a prayer pot, and we could have got him. Unlucky. He can't teleport. He's dead. Bro. Now he's dead. I was going to say. A max hit 52. I think I was a little bit brewed down, maybe, or not potted up after using all my stacks. Good fight, Beast. G-Ball Cash. No AGS Smite, sadly. I'm going to lose. I know that already. Oh, no. Here it comes. Dude, I'm having to pop block myself constantly, and there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. And now we go for the smite. We did smite him, but I wasn't ready to G-Maul, unfortunately. So I think he got his prayer back up. He got protect item back up. It won't be an AGS. 950k again, though. It's not bad for a pure, to be fair, after just dying. Good fight. I had no idea it could hit that high. Oh, there's a 62, though. Right back at you, buddy. Oh, my. Okay, then. That guy has 78 defense, and I just G-Mauled a 78 like it was a hot knife through butter. That is insane. No risk, I don't think, but still a nice clip. Nice RNG hitting on 78 defense like that on just a pure. We have full stacks now, so that's good. And I've also got first hit, and I think he's dead here. He went for a prayer potion. We couldn't even get the Gmaul spec off. No chance of a smite, sadly, but at least we got a quick kill. How much was the loot? 1.1 mil, not bad in the pure bracket. Decided to mix things up, so off to Bounty Hunter to try and find some more +1s to smite. Oh, baby. One more of those, then we can go for the spec. No shot. A 0-3. Oh, is he smited? That damage was absolutely insane. Oh, I think he had G-Maul Cash. I was hoping for claws, but still. A smite's a smite, baby. Good fight. Should not have spec there, but it had so much potential. Oh, wow. Never mind. The 52 max hit. Let's go. I spoke too soon. The DPS of this thing is just nut. I got a Saradomin's tier? Wow. 6.2 mil. Respect for risking to that guy. One more. Perfect. And now send it. Oh, the DPS. What a shame we couldn't get that R. Oh, hello, a crate. What a shame we couldn't get that RNG when we smited him for claws, though, a couple fights ago. Good fight. Right, let's see. What do we get? 1 mil loot plus the crate. No emblem. Oh, don't spec-tab me, brother. Oh, no way I hit that. Finally, a big double maul. No smite, but we got a crate. Was that a 67 special? Oh, an emblem! No way! Nice! How much does that one cost? Let's have a look. Hey, an extra 500k on the loot, thanks to the emblem from the crate. And 4.2 mil, wow. I got his Freminic kilt. Good fight. Is he smited? I may have just smited him there. I wonder if he got his prayer back up again. Oh. I've been spoiled the loot. I might have smited his G-Maul. An anchor and G-Maul, I think. Not the biggest smite, but the smite potential once again coming through. Oh, we drank a prayer pot there. Do I risk this? Kind of got to, haven't I? Jesus, the DPS. Oh, a crate. No, give me it. No smite, but still 750k. And from the crate, no emblem. Honestly, perfect triple 8. Very good 8. That's all I can really say there. Oh, did we smite him with a 51 regular axe hit? Damn, the combos went in there. Jesus. Could be a Ballista and a G-Maul money. Oh, he got his prayer back up again. Just the G-Maul, unlucky, good fight. Oh, wait, I forgot to get my loot key from before. Well, did he have a loot key on him? Well, I got a Ballista and a G-Maul, so I guess I smited him. Cheeky little 1.2 mil. My first hit. A 62 into her. Why was the G-Maul so slow? I smited him too, are you kidding me? No! A 0-0 on like 20 HP. I will risk this. Oh! Smited! 61 with 3 stacks. Oh, that was beautiful. Smited him. Only a G-Maul, but still goes to show the power of the setup. Just non-stop smites. Do I risk it? Yes, we do. Oh, I was out of food, so I'm glad that came through. What do we get? Oh, wow, he was risking a bounty hunter, to be fair. 1.7 mil. Like there. Oh, my. Okay, that was worth waiting for with the special. Holy, I don't know what I hit there, but that was a lot. 1.7 mil as well. And a tier 10. Please, please, please. Go for it. There's no shot he didn't get smited to that. We did so much. He must have just drank a prayer potion. I hit a 68 G-Maul. When I saw that G-Maul spec, I thought in my head, oh, maybe. 400k. Oh, that's big. Do I risk it? I risk it. Oh, the risk paid off. A 66 G-Maul. Oh, my. Okay, okay. 3 mil. Not bad, not bad. Like full stacks. We're going for it. Why did my G-Maul not go out? It doesn't matter. It'll happen now. Oh my, the risk paid off. I smited him too. I was 2 HP, and all I can say is okay. 1.6 mil. Oh, I only got the Ballista smite. I'm getting a lot of smites today, but nothing big, unfortunately. Do I risk it? We risk it. Oh! 64! Let's go! The max hit. What do we get? 630k. I'm risking it. Oh, it was my first hit and he also risked it. No smite, but hey. Oh, a crate. What's inside? Oh, nothing. 1 mil. Do you think he has got a G-Maul? I feel like someone that says I don't have G-Maul has a G-Maul. Secretly. He's hiding it. That's my guess. Well, we're not going to find out because he's already dead to a 60 axe non-special attack. He didn't have a G-Maul. That's good. Maybe here? Shouldn't have gotten a 0. Never mind, doesn't matter. When the spec doesn't get them, the axe can still come through. Good fight, beast. Oh, a crate. Anything good? No emblem. The loot is 792k. Do I just spec here? Oh, we do. Good fight, man. He's not happy about that one, is he? Using the new Dark Bone to double axe and dragon knives on a Voider. Come on, man. You can't call me cringe. He is not happy. Thank you for the 2 mil, brother. Do I risk this HP? He won't see it coming, to be fair. Well, he didn't see it coming, that's for sure. Good fight, beast. Wow. Oh, no. He's not happy. 840k loot. Oh, wow. The hits off the start of the fight are pretty nutty. We could have killed him there with 53. He doesn't know what's hit him. Do I just go for it here on this HP? I might have to. I mean, I hit non-stop numbers. There's not much you can do about that, Chief. When the RNG comes through with the axe, it is unstoppable. All for 1 mil loot. And a bird's nest? Wait, what? What's Torvesta doing in there? You look wonderful. No, you. Oh, I don't have to kill this guy. He seems so polite and nice. Ooh, I smite him. What little spec he's got? I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be mine in a second. Oh, my. Do I risk this? I'll risk it. We did smite him! It wasn't the cleanest G-Maul, but it was a beautiful bit of RNG regardless. Oh, that guy was so polite as well. I feel a little bit guilty. I want to give back his ballista if I can find him. You earned it. Now take it back, man. He doesn't even want to take it back. He's saying, you sure you earned it? That is a very genuine, nice guy. Respect, Dextro, and good fight, Beast. Aww.
Made it to the comic store.
Excellent.
Permanently gain 1% chance of avoiding all damage from an attack. Oh, okay. Yo. My DPS is just insane. But I also just get in there and die. I also just die. Alright. Oh. Hello, ghoul. Pre-war money. Display case.
Looks really strong.
Oh! That's an axe!
Don't think I can pick this.
I can't unlock it! Oh, come on!
No way I could pick this.
I want that so bad!
Won't be able to pick this. Won't be able to pick this.
You've got to be kidding me. Oh, maybe I can do it from the terminal. Oh, I'm not smart enough to get in. I just leveled up. Oh my gosh. All right. You can have dog meat. Take it. Okay. Yo, no backseating though, dude. Hey.
Lock's really strong.
Hey, dog.
Go check that out. Check it out.
Dog,
take a look.
Take a look at the case, bro. I need the axe.
Over there.
My dog is pissed at me. I think it's because I lit him on fire earlier.
Check it out.
Go.
Take a look. Go look, boy.
Come on, buddy.
Dog meat.
Go.
Go look.
Go unlock the
What's
case,
there,
bud.
boy? Go check that out. Grab that.
Oh, Burnt Man comic. Is that what I wanted? Burnt Grognak comic. Oh my gosh, dude. Grognak the Barbarian. That's what we need, dude.
Lock tight.
Damn it, dude. Hubris comic storeroom key.
Don't think I can pick this.
I have the key, but I can't. Dude, I am not leaving
No
until we
way I
figure
can
this
pick
out.
this.
I literally just got a key and it didn't even work.
Over here.
toy car, chessboard. It's got to be in here somewhere.
Wait there. Come on. Move here.
You can't just break the glass? No, I tried many times. Yeah, we're gonna search this place top to bottom until we find a way to open this. Oh, hello there, ghoul. I still have my level up, by the way. I'm gonna save. If I can't find a way to level up, I'll level up like my int or something. I'm assuming there's a way to. Glowing one. Oh, I remember these guys from Fallout 3. Oh man, this guy's strong. Holy crap, chat. Blood pack. Radaway. Stim pack. Oh, I have no explosives. Oh, I'm like one life. Holy crap. We killed all of them except the glowing one. Alright, let's eat a bunch more of this stuff. Oh, I fell on purpose. Okay, he's chasing me. I have no explosives. He fell down, hey. Okay, we're almost dead, but he's almost dead too. We're gonna have to keep stimming up. Eat all the tomatoes from earlier. Oh, I almost just died. Holy crap. Woohoo! Not bad, not bad, not bad. Oh, manager's terminal. Oh, this maybe unlocks it. Huber's Comics office key. Maybe that key helps us unlock it, or maybe this terminal does. Let's check out this terminal first. Came into work today, found another stealth revision to the script. Okay. I want to pull my hair out. He signed a contract. Okay. Shannon Rivers has worked for us for decades, and she is the voice of the mystery. Okay. Maybe the key that I just got is the key. Let's try again. It is. Really strong. Oh, it's not. It glue. It was green. I thought for sure that was the one.
Pick this.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna keep looking.
Can't break the code.
We're gonna keep looking. Ooh, 2 stim packs right there, baby. I have no more Radaway, and look at my radiation. Ugh. Ask dog meat. I mean, I can try again.
Check it out.
Yeah, dog meat doesn't do it. Alright, one sec. I have a lot more exploring to do. Let's go back upstairs first. Oh, look at that. There might be another key somewhere. Oh, this is the place I was just at. Oh, hello there. Hello there. There's gotta be a key in here. Rider's terminal. Hey, Lord Swain, thanks for the prime. Welcome in. Sometimes they get real creative with hiding spots. Grognak costume. Yes. Increases the wearer's strength and melee damage. That's why you guys wanted me to keep looking. And there's some buff out right next to it. A pipe wrench as well. Black rimmed glasses. Oh my gosh, there's such cool stuff in this room. Okay, well, I just put on the cage armor, but let's see what the Grognak is. Cage armor actually gives me more physical resist. But 2 strength. Oh my god, dude, it has no chest. Wait, do I put a chest with it? Oh, you can't. It's like a built-in barbarian. It's a built-in bar. Oh my. Oh crap, dude, I didn't mean to do that. It was a misclick. I like have to wear this then. For the mod then. I like absolutely have to. I feel like I don't even have a choice now. Because someone earlier was like, bro, if you're a barbarian, you got to take your chest off. This is like perfect. Okay, the pipe wrench is 44 damage medium. So it's just straight up better than this. Cool. All right, hold up. We go to the roof. Let's go to the roof first. We'll go back down there. You need a perk to enable harder difficulty terminals and unlocks. Okay. I'll check perks. I have 1 level up right now, so we'll see what's good. I'm so sad, dude. I really, really, really want that 2-handed axe, man. I feel like with a 2-handed axe, we'd be vibing. Wonder how much damage it does. Like if my current one does 44, that 2-hander probably does like 80 or something. Get it? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it until I get my lock picking up. Infinite loading screen. Yeah, some of these are really long. I don't know why. People are saying if I mod my Fallout 4, the loading screens are quicker somehow. You can take Piper with you and she'll open it up for me. Oh, that's really smart. Man, that's like totally backseat gaming, but like, yeah, I would have never thought of that in a billion years. First playthrough. So I've played Fallout 3 in Vegas. I thought I played Fallout 4 until a couple days ago. I went to my Steam library and it said I only had 10 hours on it, but I'm playing through and I think a lot of this feels familiar, so I actually don't know. Guys, what is this loading screen? Do I have to Alt F4 this? Sometimes pressing buttons on my keyboard helps with the loading screen. Okay, I'm spamming my keyboard. Hold. Oh my gosh, you're right. That was just like a 1-minute loading screen. How does that even work? And I'm gonna go back inside too. There's probably nothing up here. Dog meat found something. What do you find? What? What? What are you barking about, bud? He fell? Are you kidding me? He found something and then fell. Oh my gosh. What is that? Okay, well, I have a lot I want to do back in here. I thought I'd maybe check out the roof to see if there was anything in there. See a dog? I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be another 1 minute. Dude, yeah. Alright, so I have a little... Oh, that wasn't as long. Oh, hey, dog meat. You made it back in. Cool. Okay, well, let's do some stuff. One, I have a level up, but you guys are saying I need perception. Your quick hands and sticky fingers make picking pockets 25% easier. Your nimble fingers allow you to pick advanced locks. I need perception 4 for that. Hold on. What if I put on this for perception and this for perception, and then I go to level up? My perception is... Does it not work that way? Maybe it doesn't work that way. So basically I would need 4 perception and I would need this talent, locksmith. So that would need to put 2 levels in here. I don't want to do that, right? That's like 2 full levels. Dude, look at me, man. All right, well, I guess we leave. I'm so sad. I really want that. I really want it. Like, really bad. I might go grab Piper. I might grab Piper to see if she can do it. That would be smart. Need to stop listening to trolls in the chat. The thing about listening to trolls in the chat or not listening to trolls in the chat is I can't tell or distinguish who's trolling and who's trying to help me. All right. Well, we made it out of here. Valentino is like right here. I really need Radaway. Does sleeping get rid of radiation? Like, I need to get Radaway, man. I'm dying. Oh, okay. Oh, that guy is an axe too. I'm probably dead, huh? Well, back to the loading screen, huh? That's why there was a chain there. Frag grenade. Maybe I could grenade him down, but let's be honest, probably not. That axe looks like Gore Howl. Yeah. What? Is this Valentino? Are you a robot? Oh, never mind. Over here. Yo, Valentino! Man, I need to get rid of... I need a Radaway. He drops a crazy weapon. Bro, what if I tried to cheese that guy with Molotovs and stuff, and I killed him for his weapon, and I just have... And then I have that guy's weapon instead of the other axe. That guy definitely had a melee weapon on him, but I don't know. I cheese that guy every time. I have Molotovs. Yeah, maybe I'll try. Alright. Yeah, maybe we try that for a second. I'll see how hard it is. For the glory, yeah. That could be sick. And then I wouldn't need the other axe, maybe. Well, I don't know how good the other one is, but... I don't have any mines on me. It's a fist weapon? Oh. It's... Oh, people are saying it's a fist weapon. I'm not spec'd into the fist spec. It's the fist weapon though. I have 2 points into... Oh man. Man, this loading screen, dude. How hard is it to download Fallout mods? Like, what? I need to get this loading screen Fallout mod, man. Yeah, this is insane. Loading screen Fallout mod. Load accelerator. About the mod. Reduce the loading time by controlling VSync and CPU affinity at loading screen. I mean, this is wild. The loading screen isn't normal. I don't even remember the loading screens being like this on the Xbox. I'm pressing things on my keyboard. Maybe that'll help it. Oh yeah, I pressed something on my keyboard. There was a noise and then it loaded instantly. Huh. Something's bugging out. Okay, so I only have half life. I have 1 grenade and 3 Molotovs. Oh man, there's no way, chat. Point blank. Yo, bro, there's no way, guys. Unless I found a place to completely cheese him where he literally just didn't do anything, there's just no way. Yeah. That's not a fist weapon, guys. That's totally an axe. What are you guys talking about? Sprint to guards for maybe WoW Tech? Yeah, maybe the guards would help. Who knows? Shoot. Okay. I don't think I could take him out. If the grenade took him down like a considerable amount, I'd be like, okay, I could just get like 6 grenades, spam grenades while running in circles, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay, so for now, let's continue this quest, and then I'm gonna get... I want to get someone's help to open that. Go inside the subway arc. He'll stand there. It's just like straight up bug him out. He just won't even move. Okay. Well, whatever. Let's see what's down here first. Oh, you know what? I never leveled up. Never leveled up.
Feels infinitely better to come back to BFD and destroy that place. I don't know what I want to do next.
I could get rooted. While standing still, you gain 25% damage resist. So whenever I attack someone, I just stop moving. Or this probably also work with VATS, right? Or I could just get perception and yeah, get closer to my perception goal. I'm like a melee build. I'll grab a rooted first. Let's try to find another way around to open that thing. If not, we'll get it eventually.
Hey, lights out.
Dude. Rooted, I'm sure works in VATS, right? I mean, it seems like it would. Holy crap, this guy's good at his with his fists. This guy's really good at his fists. Holy crap. He just he just parried like 4 times. I do a lot of damage. I need rat away like really bad. I need rat away like really bad.
That's it.
Ban that dude? Wait, what did he say? Mods? Is he doing spoilers? I didn't read it. Sugar bombs, caps, instamash, purified water. Hey, we'll take that. Spoiled the show? Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm gonna ban him. I didn't read it. I'm not gonna read it, but I will ban him for you guys. Okay. Give me some rat away, man.
Don't think I can pick this.
Man, I kind of want to get my picking up just because later in the game I'm going to want to pick a bunch of the advanced stuff.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ocarina of Time Nightmare. We are in the home stretch. We are at the Spirit Temple, which we just finished, and we just need to go take care of Ganondorf. So let's go to the Temple of Time. Get our handy dandy light arrows, and then head over to Ganon's castle. Which hopefully won't be too hard like the rest of this ROM hack, but I guess we'll see because so far everything's been a nightmare. I've been waiting for you, Soul. Chic. Soul, the hero of time. You've overcome many hardships and awakened 6 sages. And now you have a final challenge, a showdown with Ganondorf, the king of evil. Before that, I have things I want to tell you. Tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikahs. The Sheikah Shadows. Probably skip all this. Alright, we got our handy dandy light arrows. Let's go to Ganon's castle and see if we can bust up the place. Ow. I anticipate pain. Oh, we got a wolf there. Get away. Nobody cares. Gotta go get our gold gauntlets and then get double defense at least. There's dogs outside won't stop barking. Ooh, it's raining. They just bark, 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 bark all day long. Bark, 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 bark. Shut up. Yeah. Oh, we got the Rainbow Bridge. Ganon's Tower. Is it safe? Alright. In we go. Let's do this. Alright, Ganon's castle. Let's see. Bye-bye. He's got some torches. Iron knuckle. Alright. Take him out. Too early. Hit. Oh. Yeah, nice. I feel like it took less hits than normal times to get rid of him. Interesting. There's a blue. Alright, get rid of that. And that. Does this open the door? Oh, these torches are on. Oh. Okay. I'll take it. Take the easy win. Oh, frick. Alright, so first things first, we need gold gauntlets for over there and fire trial. So let's do spirit trial first. Oh, frick. Bye bye. Can I hop in the middle here? No. What this? Oh! Did something. Oh god. Two iron knuckle fights in the span of 5 minutes. Not good. Get. Nice. Anybody else? No? Yes? Hello? How do we open the door? Oh, was I supposed to have the iron knuckle break this chairs? I feel like I was supposed to have the iron knuckle break the chairs. That's what I thought. Hey! Ha ha ha. Nice. I can just jump right out. Sweet. That's what I call easy peasy. Oh, bye. Bye-bye. Gimme. Choose. Alright. Seems fairly straightforward. Boom! Nice. Too close for comfort. Bye-bye. A Gibdo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No questions asked. Slash first, ask questions later. Alright, now to take some guesses. Gimme. Oh god. That was Giga Chess. Nope. I'm afraid. Yet. Ooh. Oh. Nobody else? Thank you. Give me my loot. Okay. Don't need the money. The heart. Heart. And what is this? Something big? Is it something big? The gold gauntlets! Wow, I didn't think we found them that early. Holy crap. I mean, I guess we kind of have to because the other rooms coming up are require them. Nice. The spirit barrier is dispelled. Hurry up. I'm trying. Oh, the arrows just chilling in midair. One down, 4 to go. Whee! Open sesame. Ah. Chuck it. Lucky one of those things didn't hit him. All right. Oh god. Oh, this guy. Fricker. Get.
I'm getting a bit bored of actually just doing Rousey Basin. Like, what can I do now? Like, play a different game until next fucking Tuesday? Like, honestly, I only really play solid to raid at this point. Like, and PvP to get like raid gear, etc. Vice versa. So we're already max rank for 8 or 8. For what we can be almost Bis once I get the Bis weapon and like a couple like the Bis belt, gloves, and wrists, and this. Yeah, back. Then I'm like Bis. I don't know, like I already have that trinket in the bank for melee, but it's definitely not Bis. So it's like I'm Bis, almost close to Bis. A few items off, but yeah, I need that main hand.